ViVE 2025 was packed with innovations, cool tech, and plenty of buzz. But was it really all that? Well, in this video, I'm breaking down 7 things the event organizers totally nailed, and 2 things they didn't. I'm spilling it all and not holding back. Stick around, you're going to want to hear all about this. Let's get to it.
Sway Health.
Hello, Colin Hung here for Sway Health, and I am here in Nashville, Tennessee, where we have just wrapped up 4 fantastic days at the annual ViVE event. Shout out to the ViVE organizers for once again putting on a great event. It's not easy to pull off an event of this scale, and they did a lot of things right. I'm going to highlight 7 of those things that stood out to me, and the 2 things that I believe didn't quite go so well. But let's start with the good stuff. First up, conference security. This was the most noticeable thing about ViVE 2025. The increased security was prevalent. You had to have a badge to get into the convention center. No badge meant no entry. You had to go through a detector, and security randomly looked through backpacks, handbags, and suitcases. I didn't get official confirmation on this, but I think this beefed up security is a direct response to the shooting in New York City. Now personally, I welcomed the extra security, and every security guard I encountered was very pleasant and very polite, almost Canadian. Now, as far as security goes, they nailed it. It was presence, but it didn't add any delays to entry, and I think it made people feel a little bit more comfortable. Number 2, coffee everywhere. ViVE organizers put coffee stations in various spots in the exhibit hall where you could get a hot cup anytime you wanted. It wasn't fancy, just coffee or tea, but this was a welcome surprise. And I spoke to quite a number of people who expressed their gratitude at being able to grab a cup of something hot and drink it, given how cold it was outside. Number 3, photo spots. There were so many places at the event to take selfies and group photos. There were giant ViVE letters dotting the exhibit hall and in the lobby. There was even a giant V right in the middle of everything. There were plenty of ViVE graffiti canvases that were on the walls, and each one was slightly different. Even the stages were cool places where you could take a photo. And I personally really liked the shipping container look to some of those stages. Well, and speaking of stages, that was number 4 of the things that the ViVE organizers got right. Having the presentations on stages inside the exhibit hall means everything happens in the same place. So there's no loss of traffic. You don't lose people as they're transitioning from one breakout session to another. It all happens in the same place. And here in Nashville, they finally got the volume levels right. At this conference, you didn't have any sessions overlapping or music from one stage dominating the hall. It was really well done. And a great sign was the fact that the interrupt stages, which were smaller stages, they were always packed, standing room only. So kudos to them for getting that right. Number 5, the food. The food here was excellent quality. And this year, they had plenty of food available, even at the end of the meal hours. Last year in LA, if you didn't get something to eat in the first 30 minutes, you'd be out of luck. This year, you could still get something to eat with just 10 minutes left in the time frame. And there were lots of healthy options available, alongside some not so healthy ones. And most attendees that I spoke to seemed very happy with the selection. Number 6, the Media Village. This Media Village was a great layout. It was in a great position, away from the sound stages and the music, and it actually was pretty far away from the lobby area, so the music in the lobby didn't interfere with a lot of the videos we were shooting. Plus, there were lots of snacks, tons of natural light, plenty of power, and we weren't crowded together in the Media Village. I think the only thing I would say about the Media Village is that it could have used a few more couches for casual meetings, but overall, top marks. And finally, number 7 of the things that the organizers got right was event communication. Both before and during the event, notifications from the organizers were short and sweet and easy to understand. They even did a great job with the subject lines of their emails. It highlighted what you need to know, even if you didn't read the entire notification. And what I really appreciated is that they didn't just send notifications via the conference app. They also emailed them. And this is something I wish more organizers would do. See, not every attendee wants to download and use the app. Many can't for security reasons. So if you just send notifications to the app, there will be many attendees who will not be informed. So kudos to the ViVE team for using email alongside the app. Now, there were just 2 misses for me at ViVE 2025. One is a minor one, and one is a major one. The major miss is this. When you checked in, you got this ridiculous wristband placed on you that you cannot take off for the entire time you're here at ViVE. This wristband is meant as a way to identify you as a conference attendee, presumably at events where you might not want to carry your badge, like at a bar or an event downtown. It's also a way to prevent people from sharing their badge with someone else because, you got this wristband on you. If you didn't have one and just had a badge, you wouldn't be allowed in, at least in theory. But ViVE's badges already have your picture on it. So I'm not really sure why they're so concerned about badge sharing when there's a way to identify whether or not the badge matches the person. And there's an ick factor to these wristbands. They get quite grimy and disgusting after one run in the shower or after one night out on the town. I think infection control would have a field day with what's on these things as we carry them for like 4 days. But most importantly, and I really hope the organizers hear this, these wristbands put attendees at risk when they're outside the convention center. I was at a store at around 9 p.m. on the first night of ViVE, and the cashier stopped me and said, "Sir, you should really hide that wristband while walking around this late." And when I asked why, he told me that this wristband clearly marks me as a visitor. And because everyone in town knew that there was a healthcare conference being held, people knew that the attendees were likely well off and were bound to have valuable electronics and money. So, ViVE organizers, please nix these wristbands. The benefits, to me, are not worth it. Let's not make attendees walking targets outside the convention center. I'm sure there are other ways to prevent badge sharing, and I think your app works fine as a way to identify someone as an attendee without their badge. Right? You can just show that you're registered and their picture is right there on the app. The other miss for me is a small one, and it's these mugs. Now, I love a good mug, and this one actually is pretty cool because it has a really nice design on it. But giving away a ceramic mug without a box to transport them in is a little bit of a misstep. You put this in your suitcase and have it fall the wrong way, and it could easily get broken. It would have been nice to offer attendees a small box, to put these in, kind of like those Starbucks mugs that you get, or just go with something that's not breakable. Now, I know I've been a little critical here, but I want to be clear. Overall, the ViVE event was awesome. It was well run, visually stunning, and it's clear that they listened to the feedback from attendees in 2024. So, ViVE still is one of the best conferences on the calendar, and it is one that goes out of their way to make sure that attendees and exhibitors are well taken care of. And that's evidenced by the free food, the good quality food, the smooth check-in, and the good communication. So thank you to the ViVE organizers for ViVE 2025. I can't wait to see what you have in store for us in Los Angeles next year. I'm Colin Hung for Sway Health. Thanks for watching this, and I'll catch you on the next video.